Hi, I'm Lucy from Sew Essential and I'm here today to share the latest Vogue pattern release with you. So everything I talk about today is available on our lovely website, and you'll find links to our website and all the patterns and all the fabrics I mentioned below, so do jump on and check those out. If you like what you see today, please like and subscribe, because every Friday I bring you a video packed full of sewing goodness. And if you can't wait a whole week, do jump on and check out our social media accounts. We're in all the usual places. So before I get started, I just thought I'd share with you what I'm wearing today, because it's a skirt that I've raved about the pattern many times, and I also talked about it in a recent video when I was talking about the leather look trend for this autumn winter. So this is the skirt I'm wearing today. It's McCall's 8051. I'll pop a link below for you, but it is an absolute wardrobe workhorse of a pattern. It's just a simple skirt pattern, fairly fitted, darts at the front, a couple of darts at the back for shaping, but a really nice easy sew, no waistband. It's finished with a facing at the waistline. And I made it in this leather look fabric, which is sadly sold out now, but I've made it in other fabrics as well, and it is just a really good, useful pattern to have in your collection. It comes with 5 hem lengths, so I think this is the shortest one, but there's several other hem lengths as well. So yeah, I just thought I'd show it off to you and just share it with you. I put an exposed zip on the back of this one for an added bit of extra interest and detail, and then I'm just wearing it with this lovely knit, which sadly I didn't knit. I'm not that talented. This is shop bought, but yeah, it's just a great skirt to have in my wardrobe for this time of year, so I thought I'd just share that with you. But now let's get on with the new pattern. So it's a Vogue release. I'll pop links to all the patterns I feature, but I'll also pop a link to all of the new patterns below for you as well, in case the ones I pick aren't of interest to you. I'll also pop links to the fabrics below as well, so do jump on and check those out. Go and have a look at our website and you'll find everything there. But let's get started with an absolute corker in my opinion. It is Vogue 1908, and every now and again there's a pattern release and I'll be in the office working my way through picking out my favourites, and I'll say, oh Irena, come and look at this, or I'll grab one of the guys out of the warehouse because I just need to show them the beautiful pattern that I found, and this was one of those. I just think it's really unique. It's very, very different to anything else I've seen for a long time, and I think it would be beautiful to wear but also beautiful to sew. So it comes in sizes from a small to an XXL, and the XXL is a 46 to 48 inch bust, 39 to 41.5 waist, and a 48 to 50 hip. I asked you recently about the size charts and whether they were of interest to you. Quite a lot of people said they weren't bothered, but actually there were quite a lot of responses where people said, I do like to know that upper end of the size range, because I'll know straight away if that's an option for me or not. So I thought, rather than listing the smallest size and the largest size, I'd try just listing the largest size and see if that sort of is a happy medium that keeps everybody happy. So hopefully that's useful for everybody. But let's talk about the pattern now. So absolutely gorgeous, very sort of 1930s vintage type feel. There's a triangular keyhole opening at the front, which has got a little button fastening across the top. It's got a lovely pointy collar, which has been hugely popular and contemporary in recent years, but then with all the other details looks quite vintage. There's a little button and loop closure down the front underneath that triangular keyhole opening. It's got yokes on the front with gathers underneath the yokes, which I always really like. I think it gives a lovely shape in the bust area, a little bit of volume. The sleeves are fitted but have got a lovely gathered sleeve head, so a nice bit of volume there again, and they come with the option for a full length or a short sleeve. And then it's got a waist tie and a wrap skirt. So it's a wrap skirt, but the bodice isn't a wrap. So that's quite unique and interesting, and sort of the best of both worlds, I suppose. And then there is a yoke across the back with some little gathers under that as well. And the skirt comes in a knee length or midi maxi length as well. So yeah, just really, really beautiful. I think it would be gorgeous to wear, gorgeous to sew as well. Lots of fun little interesting details to sew go there, and little challenges with the pointy collar and the triangular keyhole. Fabrics suggested are woven fabrics with drapes such as crepes and rayons, and I chose John Caldor Madrid crepe. Can't get my words out, but I thought this would be absolutely perfect for that pattern. It's a lovely weight. It's a great sort of winter weight for a crepe, but it's still got lots of drape and movement. And I just thought this burgundy colourway with the black floral design on it was very sort of autumn winter and would look beautiful sewn up in that. I've got plenty more of that downstairs as well. I just brought up one of the smaller bolts because makes my life easier not having to carry a big bolt up the stairs. The next pattern I wanted to share with you is Vogue 1898. Another beauty, some real classic Vogue details here. This one runs in an 8 to a 24, so the 24 is a 46 bust, 39 waist and 48 hip, but it's got that classic sort of plunging V-neck at the front, which Vogue often have. I always say to people though, if that ever puts you off, it's relatively easy just to raise that neckline, but it's really pretty the way it's done. It's got like a little lapel folding back, comes down into the V, and then there's some sort of tie which just sort of hangs at the front and creates a little bit of drama. It's got a nice collar as well, and then it's got grown on sleeves, so no faffing around setting in sleeves, or it makes it easier to sew and fit when it's a grown on sleeve, and that comes from me, who I do have problems fitting that area. It's got a little cuff to finish the sleeves, short sleeves, fitted round the waist. There is a waist seam, and the waist seam at the front goes into a little sort of gentle V, and then a nice sort of gently flared skirt, or A-line skirt perhaps, that comes down to a midi length. Very, very pretty, very classic Vogue. And this one, it suggests jacquards, linens, Ankara fabrics, poplins, so something with a little bit of body. And I chose this really pretty cotton poplin fabric, which I thought would work really well. And again, another pretty dark floral for autumn winter. It's like a deep navy background, and then these pretty little purple and red floral design on it. I thought that would work really well for that one. Don't forget, all of these are linked below, all the patterns and the fabrics. Just click open description, you'll find links to everything below. The next pattern I wanted to share is Vogue 1899. This one runs in an extra small to an extra large. So the extra large is a 46 to 48 bust, 39 to 41.5 waist, and a 48 to 50 hip. And this is just a very modern, contemporary looking shirt that looks like it's got quite a bit of volume, and I think would work well with a fabric that's got a bit of body to it, to create sort of a bit of structure and a bit of shape as it hangs. So it's got a really cool little collar. It's a loose fitting button front shirt. It's got elbow length sleeves with underarm gusset, turn back cuffs with a button and bias loop closure. It's got a shaped collar with a little button detail on it, and then it's got a high-low hem as well, so that adds to the drama. So it's meant to be worn untucked with a pair of, you know, slim fitting trousers I would wear it with, and it's all about the volume and the drama in the loose fitting shirt. It's got variations for the hem length as well, so there is one that's quite a bit longer, but then there's a more sort of modern contemporary looking cropped version, which is the one I would go for. And I just think that I always think, whenever I look at these sort of voluminous oversized shirts, I always think of a lady I worked with years ago, and I remember going out on a works do with her, and she wore this beautiful white voluminous oversized shirt that had some really pretty details on the sleeves, and, you know, just a couple of areas that made you sort of look and notice the details. And she just wore that with a pair of black trousers and some bright red lipstick, and she looked absolutely gorgeous. And I think sometimes less is more. You know, I am very much a magpie, and I'm always drawn to the glittery, sparkly prints, you know, those sorts of things. But sometimes I try and push myself. I'm actually making something with a plain fabric at the moment, because I think sometimes it is nice to go understated, and, you know, yeah, just just go for a different look, and less is more. So the fabric I chose for that one is our John Caldor Mystique fabric, which is a satin back crepe, and I've made a cami in this before. But it has got a bit of body and a bit of volume, and I just thought the white would look wonderful, and I'd recreate that same look with the fitted black trouser, the red lipstick, red nails. I just think it would look gorgeous. So it's got the lovely sort of satin finish side, and then it's got a more it's got like the silky satin side, and then it's got the more sort of non-silky side. So you can choose whichever side you prefer, but it's beautiful quality, lovely to work with and sew with. And yeah, I chose the white. However, I thought that might not be everyone's cup of tea. We do it in a range of colours, but my other preference would be this lovely sort of midnight or navy blue. I think that would be really pretty as well and work really well for that cropped contemporary version of that shirt. So that's my next one. The next pattern I wanted to share with you is Vogue 1905. So this is another dress pattern. Again, something quite different to stuff that I've seen in recent releases, recent months, even recent years. Sort of coming away from those very voluminous designs, we're starting to see a lot more fitted designs coming through, and I think that's reflected in the high street as well. So this one comes in an 8 to a 26, as 26 is a 48 bust, 41 waist and 50 hip, but it also has cup sizes as well, so that's great if you have to make bust adjustments normally on your patterns. It comes with an A, B, C and D cup, so that can kind of help you and cut down on the work for getting the pattern to fit. It's a lined dress, close fitting. It's got a raised waistline, bust and waist darts, a contrast collar with pre-gathered lace trim, above elbow length gathered puff sleeves with a sleeve head. So yeah, so the sleeves are quite sort of, I think the silhouette of the bodice and the skirt is quite fitted. The skirt's like a pencil skirt, the bodice has got the bust darts and the waist darts, that's all quite fitted. And then the drama comes with the big collar and then the puff sleeves. And there's two different hem lengths. One's more of a midi length and one's just above the knee. But the fabrics it suggests for this one are wool suiting, crepe and linen blends. So you can use something a bit heavier with this if you want to. Now I chose our Hermione John Caldor crepe fabric. I sort of was copying the styling on the packet really, because my preference was the floral one, and I just really like this black fabric with this pretty floral design on it, and I thought that could work really well for that dress. And then you could go for the white collar as they have done on the packet. And then finally, I also chose Vogue 1913, which is a jumpsuit and jacket pattern. So you could get a lot of mileage out of this. A jumpsuit's always useful to have. It's a nice sort of formal fitted jumpsuit to be sewn up in four-way stretch knits. So it's a really sort of fitted jumpsuit sewn in knit fabric, and I thought, oh, that'd be really nice actually for a night out, because it would be comfortable. But then you've got the jacket to chuck over it as well, and just make it feel a bit more formal. I just thought it was quite a nice combination. So the jumpsuit has got a straight neckline across the front, spaghetti straps, and it's got princess seams that go all the way down the front, from the bodice right down to the bottom of the leg, and then down the back the same. It's got stirrups, so it's kind of like a bit of a, what do we used to call those? Ski pants, I think we used to call them in the 80s or 90s. I used to have them with the little stirrups on the bottom. I used to love a pair of those. So yeah, it's comfort but formal. And then the jacket's a really lovely design as well. So it's a lined blazer, it's semi-fitted with shoulder pads, side panels, welt pockets, so a good opportunity to get your teeth stuck into a fun little sewing detail there, and 2-piece sleeves, which always gives you a bit better movement in a jacket or a coat as well. Now I chose for the jumpsuit, I chose our John Caldor Suzette fabric. We do this in a few different colours, but I thought the navy would be really nice, and I checked the stretch, it's got enough stretch, but it's a really lovely weight, it's a really nice quality stretch fabric, the Suzette is. I think people have commented before that they've bought some of it from us and really love it, and I think it does feel like quite a sort of nice high-end, more formal jersey that would be suited to that jumpsuit. And then we hadn't really got anything I would pair with this for the jacket, but what my thoughts were that you could get like a lovely jacquard fabric with blues and greys and silvers in perhaps. We had one in years ago that would have been great, but sadly we sold out a long time ago of that. But something along those lines I think would be a really lovely outfit for Christmas parties and that sort of thing. So as I mentioned at the start of the video, everything I talked about is all available on our website, so please do jump on, check out our website, check out our products, check out the patterns and fabrics that I've shared, and if you like what you see today, please like and subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.